Like we got the green memo, huh, April? Yay. Hi, Angie. All right. So today we are still celebrating our mermaid goddesses and ourselves. So I'm going to choose an oracle card for the collective, for the whole group. So people who aren't here will get a card, and then I'll pull a card separately for whoever shows up in the next, whatever, 5 minutes or so. So we're going to be doing some work, look at sigils and talk about some nice spells we can do. Is this, I mean, we couldn't be more timely. It says time and tide oceanic spells and rituals, which is exactly what we're talking about today. And there's this mermaid drawing this heart in the sand on the beach. I can relate. So you don't necessarily need to have any particular materials, because we'll be doing, practicing this together, and you could always do this on your own, but I'm just going to show you. We had a lot of rain, so we had some crazy just amounts of shells. And she's in green. Oh my God, I didn't even notice that. I'm actually going to keep this on I just got sand all over myself because there was still sand in this little shell. I'm dumping on the carpet since I need to vacuum anyways. But yeah, I found this shell. So I'm getting sand on the computer. Shit. Hi, Katerina. So you can use a shell. Like I said, this is a found one, but there's other things you can use. And there's even just like pieces of shards of shell that you can draw the sigils on. And like I said, you don't need them now. Like today, if you just have pen and paper, you can practice and play around with your sigils and all the different symbols you want to put on your spell shell. You can also use rocks. I found this amazing rock on the beach too. It's like partially like granite. It's really shiny and sparkly on one side and then just kind of normal on the other. So, but I thought this would be a great one to use for a spell shell or a sea spell, if I can talk. So just a little show and tell moment. So yes, time and tide. Let me read this first mermaid oracle, number 18. So it says, in our world and in yours of old, the rituals would be observed and the festivals kept, because that way the mother would breathe in and out more easily, and we would breathe with her in the way of the cycles of the soul, planet, and galaxy. We make offerings to the sea mother, being sure to clean and care for her liminal zones, the places where you have so often walked. Have you not seen the dolphins moving through the shoreline, appearing to chase the fish? They are hunting, it is true, but they are also moving along the coastline, cleansing toxic pockets of energy. We often attempt to detangle the creatures from the sea nets, and these too are rituals and spells. And you humans wonder what sacred acts you can do. You can sing and dance beneath the moon, on the shore, in the forest, by the lake, but you can also do the most sacred thing of all, a magical action at low tide. Before gathering any magical tools along the shore, you must be sure you have made an offering to the sea. Something in the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, okay, got it. That was Dr. April's thing. Okay, so we do not take before we give. The sea provides us all with life on this planet, just as the green and brown, rich, loamy earth. Let us thank her before collecting her driftwood, her seashells, or casting in our line for fish. So it is a time for a well thought through active connection, a ritual or spell with the realm of the mer beings, with the sea and her creature. When done with great formality and mindfulness, many acts can become magical and reconnect us to the sacred within us and outside of us. This is beautiful. So it just goes through all the different ways that we can do ritual. And they do talk about using the sigils, which part of that is the Yanaric runes. So we're going to talk about that too in a minute. So much fun to go into. Okay, so Dr. April, let us see what the mermaids want you to know. Ooh, Atlantis, rapid development, excellence, and success. Wow, she's beautiful. So I always get this when there's like change coming, like a lot of activity, great news coming in. So this is a really good sign. It says, we are at a golden moment in time. So much is changing so quickly. Humans are awakening, the planet at the point of having a time that is at once peaceful and exciting, dynamic and comforting. It can be a time of greatness in your life, and you will need courage. And the desire for power over must be shifted to the power to. The more you know you are connected to the divine, that you are the divine itself, the more you will behave in ways that are divine. When you lose that connection and that belief, when you view yourselves as merely impermanent, meaningless players on a stage or temporary witnesses, then the golden time can vanish. Keep the vision alive. It is time to strike that balance between selflessness and the actualized self who is operating out of love, not hubris. So it says a feeling of connection to crystals, to sea creatures, to being able to heal and work with people telepathically. An urgent desire to do something more meaningful with your life. Past life memories as an Atlantean or even dolphin, dugong, or other sea creatures surfacing. Learning to swim, dive, mermaid, scuba dive, and a desire to be beneath the waves. Connection to ancient sacred sites, feelings of bliss, connection, and higher powers and abilities returning to you. A sense of being at one with angels, animals, wizards, and all. A wonderful variety of beings in your life who have so much in common with you. Greater powers of communication, less fear and feeling you have great abilities and fearlessly exploring them, perhaps for the first time in this lifetime. Not being concerned with making a mistake and a sharpening of abilities. Flow, high vibration, sophistication, logic, and brilliance are heightened. Very powerful card. Okay, Angie. You're welcome, my love. That was a good one. That must feel really good, right? Oh, thank you, Dr. April. Okay, Angie, what do the mermaids want you to know? Water flight, heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, weightlessness. I love this. It's a mermaid dancing in the waves, in the water with whales. So I feel like this is really about coming to a place of deeper calm and stillness and movement. Again, another card of change, but the Atlantean one is more like feels very like pointed and focused, whereas this feels like it's very much about floating and really being carried. Okay, when one of we sea beings lies upon the shore, unable to return for hours to the sea, we die not so much from the dryness of the air, but from the weight of the world of the air. You see, in the world of water, we are light, we are weightless, and the water holds us, suspends us. In the world of air, we are left to fall to the ground, to remain heavier, and the weight of our own bodies, organs, blood, and bones slowly crushes us. Similarly, if you humans live too much in the world of air without the weightlessness and suspension, the support and the buoyancy of water, you can be crushed, weighed down until you can barely breathe in anymore. You live so much in a world of air in terms of intellect. So that makes sense. The thought world dominates humans, and you neglect the feeling world, which can sustain, uplift, and support you, allowing you in the realm of emotional imagination to do what your head says cannot be done, to take flight, to create story, to feel the depth and possibility of your lives, and to wonder. The world of air often crushes the life out of the dreams of water. Do not let this happen to you. It's time to allow yourself the freedom to feel and to express those feelings. This will release and let go some of the weight you have been feeling. The re-involvement with your emotions can also be nurtured by allowing tears to fall, connecting with your own inner sea, and if you're a woman, by connecting with the womb. So this is about releasing worries and sadness and feelings of overwhelm. The freedom of water can be yours emotionally, physically, and your spirit will take underwater flight. And to me, the whales always represent ancient wisdom, right? And this that peacefulness and gracefulness that they have. So I'm feeling that, if you've been in the depths of something that feels like it's been weighing you down, Angie, that time is now gone as you start to rise and be able to kind of float about and feel more and not be in your head so much. Great card. Hey, Dr. April said, thank you, Dr. Chris. That was especially powerful for me. I've been fascinated with Atlantis since the 7th grade. World cultures teacher encouraged my research. You even made a paper mache model. Wow. And you're welcome, Angie. That's pretty cool. Look on the bottom, the vulnerability card. That's really beautiful too. I love that. The masculine, the merman holding the woman. So yeah, I think I'm feeling kind of more vulnerable today, more just tender and I think it's that post-eclipse syndrome, it's a little bit of a hangover, a feeling of just like I've been through something, like being through a lot of stress and then coming out and feeling, like I just need restorative time. So Dr. April, vulnerable time for you as well. Oh, I'm sorry. I will name it again. It's Oracle of the Mermaids by Lucy Cavendish. It is. It's a beautiful deck and well written. And the artwork, of course, is some of my favorite artwork ever. All right, beauties. So let's get into how to do our Sea Wishes spell. And we're going to talk about also a Song of the Siren love spell. And we're going to do both today. And talking a little bit about the kind of sigils you can use in your magic and symbols. I'm going to share a bunch with you. I have some photos that I took and put on the computer here to share. Hopefully that will work. We'll see. But what I love about this is I got some inspiration. I don't know how many years ago this was now. I mean, time just goes by so fast, but I got this inspiration to look up sea priestesses. And I found that there was a thing on sea priestesses from Italy, and in particular from the Bay of Naples, which is where my grandmother's family is from. And they were called the Clan of Janata, and it's spelled Janaara. So in particular, they are a witch clan that worship the goddess Jana or Yana, And she is the consort of Janus or Janus, who is the two-headed god. So she's always shown as having two heads. And she's also the patroness of January, because January is like the beginning of the year. And, there's this looking back and looking forward, because January is this, it's a threshold month, at least in this particular mythology. So in particular, as with, there's like the Dianic, the Tanara, Tanara. There's these different clans and different clans of witches. And so the Yanara were the lunar mysteries, and they practiced at the ocean's edge. They were the sea priestesses, the sea witches. And they worked, very closely with the moon. And we're going to look at some of the different ways that they, looked at the moon and looked at the stars in particular, because they saw a direct connection between the star beings and the mer beings. So we're calling them mermaids or sirens, but, for them, the ocean was filled with these, different deities and spirits of the water, spirits particularly of the ocean. And when they would go to do their rituals on the beach, they would make sure that the sigils that they would, like, say, draw on pieces of shell or rock would wash off with the ocean and go into the water. But they would also do other things, like they would leave sigils like drawn in the sand, and they would put candles in it in a certain pattern so that the star beings could see from the candles and the patterns on the sand, see what they were conjuring, what they were manifesting, what they were wishing for, what spell they were casting. So they worked with the stars and the ocean, which to me is, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I find that very fascinating. So let's see here. There's the Sea Wishes spell. And we'll go into that in a moment. Let me share my screen here and show some pictures, but let me see if I can get this to work first. I'll move stuff around here. What it was. Here we go. Sigils Cyrenalia. So I'm trying to see if they open. I think they're trying to. Aha. Okay. So now I think this is going to work. Share screen. Okay, so these are pictures, and information I got from this book by Raven Grimassi, called The Hereditary Witchcraft: Secrets of the Old Religion. And it's an amazing, amazing book. I know I've shared it in other classes, but I don't know if you've been in any of those classes. So we'll see. Okay, let's see what the next picture is. Okay, so do I have to switch? Oh, yeah, maybe this wasn't the best way to do this. Okay, so I'm going to have to share each individual page, which is kind of time consuming and annoying. Oh, I can select multiple windows. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just going to open up all of these pictures and then I can share them all. There's like 10 of them. So give me a second here. And they're not opening. Okay, they're opening slowly. Okay, that's definitely one I want to share. Yeah, hopefully it's not going to be like too many things up at once. Okay, let me see. Some of these I'm going to close because we don't need them right away. So I want to mostly show you pictures of the different sigils. I got them all. Okay, we don't need this one. Okay. Figure 37, figure 41, figure 39. Okay. I think I've got this all the way I want it. Let's see how it goes. Oh boy. All right, so we'll do multiple ones. All right, so, okay, you're seeing a bunch of them at once. So let me see if I can. This figure 39, let's see, this is, okay. So, can you see this one here? It says figure 37, see magic runes. Let me see if I can zoom in a little more. Just let me know in the chat if you're actually seeing like my cursor moving over this. Okay. So these are called the generic runes, or the Yanaric runes. These are the ones that they would draw on the sand and also draw on shells and rocks. So I will tell you that like where you see like these little circles, in particular, that's where they would put the candles in. Also, they used white flower petals also to outline sometimes, which is really cool. So it was that way again, it was something that could be washed away by the ocean, but also seen by the star beings. So a lot of these things I don't use, like I don't use destroy, I don't use curse or enemy. I mean, some of these death. But I have used justice and power, protection, receive. I've used receive. I have used send away if I wanted to send away like somebody's energy that was bad or something that was within me that needed to be sent away. I've used love and victory and wealth a bunch of times. And there's health. This looks like the staff of Mercury, right? Or the caduceus. I don't use a sickness. There's one for Strega and Stregone. Strega is witch. Stregone is, I think, like a warlock, basically. I've used the magic before. I've used enlightenment and I've used wisdom. I love rebirth. Looks like the Ankh. The life one is really nice too. I've used protection, obviously. I've used the pentacle and the pentagram. So this is just, if there's a particular one that you might want to use or some that you want to use, if you have a pen and paper, I'll also put this up on your, the portal for you, but you could always go back to this recording, then pause and then write, practice drawing or writing the ones that you want. But yeah, I find the love one and wealth are pretty popular. And a lot of times I will, again, practice drawing them on paper. I like the health one. I haven't used that before. I'm going to try it. So yeah, so then I'll do something like this. I'll just, draw something on paper first. And I have used this in such a way that, and we'll talk about this when we talk about doing our spell together or practicing our spell together. I do think that we can do spells more than once if we feel like that repetition is going to make it stronger. Because right now this is like, well, like practice time, discovery, seeing what feels good, kind of doing this in a community setting. So I'll give you another moment with these, and then I'll show you some other sigils that you might want to play with as well. These are particularly the ones of the clan of Yanara. And I've used increase, increase wealth, increase protection. I've done receive justice before, receive power. Yeah, I love the wisdom one. I think it's one of the prettiest ones as well. Okay, so I'm going to close that one for now. And let's look at the star runes in particular. And there's two sides to this one because it was over 2 pages. So I don't know if I could line them both up. Okay, so you can see with these, you do have, the planets, manifestation, star goddess, star god, transformation, balance, harmony. That's a really cool one. Evocation, invocation, protection. So these would be drawn, not only on objects, but also, again, drawn with candles placed where these circles are. The magic one looks like the Kabbalah tree of life. Power one is pretty. Yeah, these are really beautiful. I don't use these very often. That's why I pulled them out, because I kind of wanted to just take a look and see if there are any that I liked. Okay, so this side, pump it up a little bit. There we go. So this one actually has names of some of the stars and constellations on them: Aldebaran, Canis Minor, Canis Major, Pleiades. So in particular, like if you wanted to send a message to the Pleiades or be working with these particular star guides in your magic, you would draw this as part of your sigil. Let's see, I have the book here. Let me see if there's what they say about using it. Okay, it says star magic, astrology, and astronomy are old arts, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's see. So it says, among some hereditary Italian witches, a star alphabet commonly found in grimoires of the Renaissance period is often employed. That's figure 38, which is over here. Let me drag, oops. Drag this forward. Okay, so this one is actually the alphabet drawn out in star glyphs. So this is called the star alphabet. And they also used the star runes, which was figure 39. And those are the ones that I showed you before. So it's kind of fun, like you could even put your name in the using these sigils to bring power to your spell. Okay, so the witches called the clan, there's the clan of Yanara, that's the sea witches, then the clan of Tanara, they call themselves, that's the star witches, are the clan that typically use these star runes. They're normally used to mark ritual tools, objects, or ritual settings in general. They can be drawn upon paper and placed in the cauldron for spell casting. One of the oldest methods of using star runes involved tracing the lines in the sand or earth and placing torches or candles in the circular areas of the symbol. I told you that part already. This was designed to mimic the stars and thereby draw down their magical influence. Stones or pebbles were sometimes used to mark out the connective lines running from each circle. This made the entire design more visible at night, which was naturally the prescribed time for employing star magic. Constellations are considered powerful zones of occult energy. In the craft, talismanic symbols are linked to a table of correspondences through mystical symbols. Let's see, that's, okay, so that's figure 40. Okay, so here's the alphabet, and then figure 40, these are the talismanic star symbols. Hopefully you could see those. So you have all the names. I have a feeling there's probably more, but they just haven't been published for some reason. But let's say you wanted to do the Pleiades. So it says here, the Pleiades, the metal is quicksilver, the stone is crystal diodicus, the herbs are fennel and diacidon, the charm is a pentacle, and the image a torch. Pleiades is of the nature of the moon and Mars. Its influence is similar to Alva Corvi, except its powers are manifest within the earth and sea. Its major influences upon nature through the forces behind nature. Anybody interested in, I can read some other ones. I'm interested in Canis Major and Minor. So Canis Major, the metal is silver, the stone is beryl, the herbs are mugwort and dragon's wort. The image is the hunting dog. Canis Major is of the nature of Cancer and Venus. Its influence is upon the subconscious mind and the emotions. It is said to aid in the development of psychic powers. So yeah, if you're like, I really want to be more in connection with my own inner psyche and psychic powers and my unconscious mind, then you could do this ritual for that star. Fascinating. Okay, Cor Leonis, the heart of Leo. That one is right here. Metal is iron, the stone is garnet or granite, the herb is mastic or mugwort. The image is a cat sitting on the throne. Coriolanus is of the nature of Jupiter and Mars. It is said to influence temperaments in a positive manner. So it feels very regal.
Now,
Yeah, interesting, right? Hey, Chris. Okay. So, anyways, I'm going to upload these all so you can use them. I'm kind of interested in the Pleiades one. For some reason, that one's calling to me. So I'm just going to practice drawing that one real quick. So if you like any of these that are showing right now, you could try to do a quick drawing just so you have it to practice with the ritual now. How do we spell Pleiades? Oh, here we go, Pleiades. Okay. Okay, so here are also the letters. I think I'm going to do my my initials, which my legal name is Christine Kotsko Seraphine, so it's CKS. So you could play with this as well in whatever ways you want. So, Chris, since you got here late, what we're doing is we're looking at the different runes and sigils that they've used in ritual magic. So that way, when we practice our ritual today, you just have something to play with. So let's see, let's move that over. So here are these other ones. I really like these. So these are from the clan of Tanara in Italy, and they are the star witches. And so these are, where's the other page? Hold on a second. I think it's here. Is that one here? What's that one? Okay, this is the Moon Mansion ones. We're not going to go through these. Actually, maybe we can go through them tomorrow. We're going to meet tomorrow as well. I'm trying to find one other page and can't seem to find it for some reason. Anyways, okay. So I don't know if you like any of these as well. Oops. So yeah, I love Star Goddess Transformation. I think the Balance and Harmony one, I think is one I want to use today. There's Manifestation. So yeah, right now, you know, what I'm doing, Chris, is I'm just literally just finding ones that kind of just speak to me right now in this moment. And then you guys will have these full pictures to play with, you know, after class, if you want to do more work with them. So we're just kind of drawing them and seeing what we're pulled to. So let's take a minute and draw some of these if you want. So I was showing the ladies earlier, Chris, that, you know, if you have shells already, or, you know, even pieces of shells that you want to write these on, you can practice with that, but I'm suggesting right now to practice on paper. But when you want to do the actual like ritual at, you know, if you wanted to go to the water and do this and place these, you would use like chalk or something that would rub off, you know, that the ocean would wash and take the spell off of it and into the body of the water. That's how the magic works. Cool. All right, I did manifestation and magic, and I think I want to do balance. I don't have much experience using this particular system. And I always tend to use the same sigil, so this is kind of fun for me to just try something different. Okay. So basically, one of the things you're going to want to do is before you actually put it on a shell is you do want to cleanse it energetically. You could sage it. You could also clean it with some salt water. And then I usually maybe spray or put a dab of essential oil on it that I've blessed. So think about whether or not you have your object or not. Close your eyes for a moment and think about what you want to manifest during this next cycle. We just had a full moon, so we're headed towards a new moon. The new moon in Taurus is on the 19th. So there's plenty of time to prepare for this ritual, right? You, like I said, you could practice it as many times as you want on paper. You can, you know, visualize the symbols and visualize what they mean for you. What is the magic that you are manifesting, that you're working with? Okay. And when you're ready to actually do maybe do this for like kind of the big final finale. I mean, I feel like doing something 3 times, for me, it feels like a beautiful ritual. So I would, you know, today we're going to do it for the first time together. And then the second time you could do on your own. And the third time would be like, okay, this is the one that I want to do on the new moon. Okay. And then you just take whatever it is and, you know, you draw your sigils or words, whatever you're using, onto the shell. I know, I think I'm going to have a lot of stuff. So I got this big white rock to do mine on. You could also use the back of a rock, you know, all sides of the shell, doesn't matter. Some people, and I use pencil, like colored pencil, very lightly, or water, or even chalk, because you want it to wash away. And if you still have your moon blood, you can actually use your moon menstrual blood to draw the symbols on. I used to do that all the time. It's very powerful, really powerful way to draw in that magic. And you don't necessarily need to even go to the ocean to do this. Like, let's say you live near a lake or a creek, you can do it there. I've had people even just take a nice big bowl of water and do it on their front porch or in their backyard, right? Or in their apartment. You know, sometimes we have to be stealthy and creative about how we get to do our rituals. But you basically want water for this, right? So when you put your shells or rocks into the water, I usually also then, if I'm on the beach, I will also do the same sigils in the sand in the middle of a triangle. So I'll draw a triangle out in the sand and draw the sigils in there. And then if I want to get fancy, I put candles in there as well. Beautiful. So we're going to do this, fairly quickly. So just take a piece of paper if you have one and just draw a triangle, like a big old triangle on it. So you could draw inside it. So there's my triangle. And I am going to, so I want to use the letters of my name, and then I'm going to use some of these sigils. So let's just take a couple of minutes to draw inside our triangles. And then we'll do the ritual for the first time together. And you can also do more than one of these. You could do one for someone that you love. Like if you wanted to do like a nice health spell, a blessing spell, you can, again, go back and look at the runes that have to do with the person's name. You could use the runic symbols in the person's name or their initials, like first, middle, and last. That's how I usually do it, just because my name is freaking long as hell. So let's finish this up in like a minute. And remember, this is, again, a first time practice. You don't have to be, it's not about being perfect. It's about practicing. And I also like to put hearts in mine. I like hearts. What can I say? It's, there could be a symbol that just has nothing to do with these magical symbols that mean something to you. Totally use it. Use your intuition. Flowers and stars. Ooh, yeah. Nice. I love it. Okay. So, you should have your piece of paper, whatever symbols you have in there. You could even use words like, For this one, yeah, I might actually write something in there really quickly. You can do the same. And if you have a candle lit, or if you want to light a candle, since we're going to do the ritual. I'm going to hold this here for everybody. So, you know, if you don't have a candle with you, you don't need it because I have it for you. And then if you have an essential oil, and sometimes, yeah, I'm going to dab a couple bits of the essential oil onto my paper, and then I like to put some on my hands. And kind of, again, building the chi, building the life force energy in your hands, and it helps build the magic. Warmer and warmer. Okay, now take and maybe put some over your heart. Place maybe one hand over your crown, like clearing and opening the crown chakra, getting ready to bring in the energy and the magic, and letting that energy run down your crown chakra all the way down your body, all the way down to your feet and into the earth. So you're feeling really grounded. You're feeling that flow. We're calling in the universal energies when we do this. Beautiful. So kind of hold your hands like this, and then you can repeat these words after me. Goddess of moon, earth, and sea, each wish in thy name must come to be. Powers and forces which tides do make, now summon thy waves my spell to take. And then blow into your hands. Rub them again. So the breath represents your life force energy. And then I want you to take your hands and let that energy, put it on your paper somehow. Let it flow right into these symbols. And you can look at these symbols, because energy will also flow out of your eyes. And I'm going to say, keep your hands where they are. I'm going to say the incantation again and repeat it again after me. Goddess of moon, earth, and sea, each wish in thy name must come to be. Powers and forces which tides do make, now summon thy waves my spell to take. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the magic all around you in the air, above your head, beneath your feet, on your left side, on your right side, on the front of you and on the back. Beautiful. So you can do this again on another piece of paper. You know, if you wanted to do this for a second time, I'm going to fold mine up for now and place it under the shell and the rock that I want to use. So I'm going to use these guys. I'm going to actually place these objects on top of there. So that magical energy is being imbued already into the shell and that rock. That's part of the process. So if you're performing this ritual at an ocean, lake, river, or other location in nature, you want to leave your shell or stone in the water to be received by the old ones, as they're called in this tradition. And if you're using a bowl of water, leave it out on the night of the new moon, and then bury your shell or stone the next day, returning it to the magic of the earth. And you could pour the water from the bowl over that location. And also I would do both. I would keep the water and put some in a bottle. You could put it in a spray bottle or a perfume bottle or some jar, so that you can, sprinkle around your house. You can anoint yourself with it. Again, to keep as an affirmation of the ritual work and to keep strengthening the power of the magic, because obviously that power, that magic is connected to you specifically. So again, I'll put these instructions in our course portal so you can go back anytime and do this. And definitely the Taurus new moon, it's like the end of this whole eclipse cycle stuff that we've all been dealing with. So I feel like that's going to be such a potent day to do this ritual. So it says after you do this ritual and this, the spell of the shell, you'll begin to see the effects of your magic about 7 days, which is considered a traditional timeline for lunar magic. And it could also take you up to a full cycle. So then you do it on the new moon, and then the full moon, something culminates, and then the next new moon or the next full moon cycle. So sometimes it could take a month or more, but magic is all about observation, right? It's all about perspective and observation. So when we do these, we start looking for signs. We open ourselves up. And if you're not used to that, you could even, say a prayer. A lot of times I'll pray to my angels or to a deity or to whatever feels right. The universe, please show me the signs and synchronicities that my magic is working. Please show me the signs and synchronicities that this magic is working. Because when you say it like that, you're not doubting that it's working. It's working, and that the signs can come to you, right? So you want to be affirmative about that. So I wanted to end our time today with a really beautiful love spell. And it doesn't matter if you're single, you're separated, you're divorced, you're married, you have many lovers, you have one particular person in your life, because this love spell is really about manifesting ourselves, manifesting the true love of ourselves and pouring all of our love and energy magic into our own hearts. Because that's where it all starts, right? But this, I love doing this for, I've done this, to call in love in particular partners, but I really love to do this to call in all this really beautiful love, magical energy to myself, because it feels so lush and full when you do that. And I say, do this as often as you want. This doesn't require shells. This is just an incantation. You can light a candle. You could use essential oils. This is just about sending yourself love energy. Okay. So close your eyes, or if you want to, you can also look at the candle and just have a soft gaze. You just want to be relaxed. And I want you to repeat after me. I call out to you my deepest heart's desire into the depths of the sea, into the darkness of night. So I'll say that again. I'll say a little slower. I call out to you my deepest heart's desire into the depths of the sea, into the darkness of night. Hear my voice. Come to me. I am ready. I invite you to rush upon me like the tide, tentative like a gentle foamy wave, or sweeping like a surge, overwhelmed with desire to caress the sandy shore. I am ready. I reach for you in desire, but patient, knowing you will find me. You will follow my song. My arms are outstretched in faith. I am ready. I embrace you against my yielding flesh. I feel the nourishment of my own love flow through you and back to me, even before you have arrived. I am ready. And just see and imagine those words as vibrations of energy that you've put out in the universe. And the universe is now calling back, sending you all of that love and magic directly to your heart center, directly through your crown chakra, like a beautiful mist, sparkling, misty waterfall of light all around you. And you breathe in that energy that you have called in from the universe into your lungs. So it goes through your blood and into every cell and organ of the body. Just feel that circulating. Because every word you speak becomes a prayer. It's a magnetic force of attraction. You know, this is such a beautiful prayer. You know, it's preparation for allowing that love to flow to you in all the forms. Because that which you desire is desiring you. That which you desire was put in you by the stars, the universe, because it is meant for you. So this makes you into this beautiful giant chalice of luxuriant emptiness, where you're just soaking in all of that magic. So each time you come to do this particular incantation ritual, you're preparing yourself to receive, to be that chalice, just asking to be filled again and again. All right, beautiful ladies. Thank you, Chris. If you want to come on and say something before we jump off, you can. Or type something else in the chat, and we will close this beautiful session. Great. Dr. April said, thank you so much. What a treat soaking it all in. I know that I love doing that incantation. So you will have all of this information in the course portal, and obviously access to the video to do it along with the video as often as you want. Sometimes it's nice to do it with someone, but it's good to have the words. You'll have the words and all of these different slides with the pictures of the different star sigils and sea magic ritual sigils. Love it. Okay, so tomorrow we're doing another session. I believe it's at 10 a.m. And we're going to do the Selkies. We're going to work with Selkies, and these are the seal women and men. So it's a very potent, it's all about shape shifting and transformation. So we're going to do mostly some community time to talk about how we're feeling after today, and also I'll be leading you through more of a ritual meditation tomorrow, along with, we'll share some stories of the Selkie, but it's going to be just another nice calming way for us to gather magic and gather together in community. So many blessings. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Love you. And Chris said, you're so glad you made it for the last half. I am too. I love our rituals together. Magic. We're making magic for each other and for those people that come into our orbit. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.